This year's budget statement was eagerly anticipated, both because of the fact that it was expected to contain allocations geared towards the next elections, and also because it comes in the backdrop of increased borrowing by the central government, especially for infrastructure projects. The budget reading has taken place on a Wednesday, departing from its traditional Thursday.
This is because our sisters and brothers in Uganda are celebrating the National Heroes Day tomorrow, Thursday, and therefore, in keeping with our tradition of presenting budget statements simultaneously in East African community, this day was agreed upon by all East African countries' partners.
The government plans to spend 2.26 trillion shillings in the 2016-2017 financial year against a revenue target of 1.5 trillion shillings. This means that the government plans to spend more than it earns by the order of about 700 billion shillings.
Mr. Speaker, the expenditure create a financing gap of 691.5 billion. But excluding the standard gauge rail, SGR, which is fully funded by China, the deficit is 603.2 billion.
So how does Rotich plan to plug the gaping deficit?
The overall gap will be financed by net domestic borrowing of 225.3 billion, or 3% of GDP, 462 billion net external borrowing from concessional loans from development partners, and other domestic financing of 4 billion Kenya shillings. Going forward, Mr. Speaker, we remain committed to bringing the fiscal deficit down gradually to below 4% of GDP in the medium term.
There were expectations that the government will rein in on heavy borrowing, but according to Rotich, there is no cause for worry about the size of Kenya's public debt. The 2016-2017 financial year will see the 47 county governments in the country cross a key milestone as far as the budget is concerned.
This brings the total allocation to county governments to 3 or 4.2 billion, which is equivalent to 33% of the most recently audited revenue approved by the National Assembly. Cumulatively, Mr. Speaker, at the end of 2016-2017, the amounts transferred to county government since the rollout of devolved system of government in Kenya will be in excess of 1 trillion Kenya shillings.
The financing of expenditure is a critical agenda for any government, and it's little wonder then that resources are being deployed to ensure more resources are captured to widen the national cake and promote service delivery.
I've asked the Kenya Revenue Authority to explore ways of taxing the informal sector and to redouble their efforts in netting tax evaders. Further, a reputable consulting firm has been engaged to deep dive into KRA business processes and systems to identify any gaps and weaknesses and propose requisite adjustments needed to ensure the 2016-2017 revenue targets are met.
The Kenya Revenue Authority will be on the spotlight as the National Treasury will be pegging its hopes on it to collect 1.37 trillion shillings in the next 12 months.
In presenting his largest budget ever, Rotich spoke for more than 2 hours. Alex Mwangi, NTV.